So we have our Suicide Squad team picture. Looks awesome, but there's a lot of people. We're like, who is this guy? Like, who is that guy? Nobody knows who that is. What's wrong with this guy's face over here? What's going on? Where's the mask for Will Smith? Who's this chick? She looks cool with that mask, but who's she? Well, there's a lot of people there. It could be a little bit confusing. So let me try to help you out. Here is a very quick and very brief overview of all these different characters, who they are, what their abilities are, how they ended up in the team. If you want a really extensive covering of any of these characters, you can go and look them up individually. This is just an overview. And also bear in mind, we don't yet know exactly what version the movie of these characters is going to go with, because as you'll see, a lot of these guys have abilities that are attributed to magic or some kind of supernatural power, and there's like enchanted magical items, and we don't know if the movie universe is going to include that. So we don't know what they're going to be like in the movies yet, but here's some rough ideas about their characters based off the comics. We'll start on the left and work our way over. This guy has a lot of people scratching their head because he wasn't announced. We're not sure who he is. All we can really do is guess. Some people are saying Hugo Strange. That doesn't really make any sense to me. He doesn't look like Hugo Strange. I think he's a member of the Suicide Squad that's called Slipknot, because you see he's got ropes on his belt, and that's Slipknot's kind of thing. He's a master of ropes and he's a master of knots. That it doesn't really sound very impressive, but apparently the ropes that he uses are unbreakable ropes, which now makes that much more useful. Because especially if they're going up against someone who's superpowered, he can tie them up with these ropes and they will not be able to break free of the ropes. Or the entire team could be dangling from a rope off a building and it will not break, no matter how much weight is on it. So that kind of makes him more useful. Slipknot, that's why I'm betting this guy is. Next to him we got Jai Courtney playing Captain Boomerang. And as the name suggests, he throws a bunch of boomerangs at people, and he's got all different kinds of ones. Some explode, some release gas, some like stun people with electricity. He's got all different kinds. Some are like grappling hook ones. There was a period where Captain Boomerang could like create energy boomerangs, like out of nothing. He could just go whoosh and just create energy boomerangs and throw them. Don't know if Jai Courtney can do that. I'm guessing probably not. Next to him we have Enchantress, and as her name would suggest, she's all about magic, this chick. She's a little bit like Scarlet Witch, I suppose you could say. She does a lot of healing, so she'll probably heal other members of the team when they get hurt. She can teleport, she can even walk through walls. I don't know if they'll give her those abilities, because it kind of be hard to lock her up if she has those. But she's all about magic. Just underneath her is Katana, and as you can tell just from looking at her and her name, she is sort of like a ninja assassin type of chick. However, what's different about her is that the katana she has, the sword she has, is said to sort of be cursed, and that it can suck up the souls of people that are killed with the sword, and they kind of get stored in the sword, and sometimes the sword can like control you and make you do certain things, and it's kind of weird. It's this whole thing with the sword, but it's interesting because a number of the people on the team, their abilities are sort of not connected to their skills. It's rather the thing that they have, you know, whether it's this cursed katana or whether it's Captain Boomerang's boomerangs or whether it's Slipknot's ropes. You know, I mean, theoretically you could just grab those things and give them to anybody else and and you got the same basic thing. In the middle here, we've got Rick Flag. There's not much to say about Rick Flag. He's basically just the leader of the team. He's kind of like the military dude that ended up in the Suicide Squad just through extenuating circumstances. But he's kind of the closest thing to a solid good guy in the team. And he's like their handler. He runs everything. And based off this picture, he's pretty popular with the ladies because all three of them are just crowded around him. I don't know what that's all about. Someone who particularly seems to like him is Harley Quin. Though I wouldn't take it too seriously, she's a serious flirt with everyone. Harley Quin, most of us already know her, but basically she's Joker's girlfriend. She used to be his psychiatrist, but Joker ended up turning her crazy. And based off like the way she's dressed here as the punk rocker kind of chick, I guess that confirms that the Joker thing that we had revealed a couple days ago, that is the genuine way he's going to look. I was actually wondering if maybe the Joker's reveal in that picture was actually a joke, like they were playing a joke on us and they were going to reveal the true way he looked later, but since his girlfriend Harley Quinn seems to be dressed in a similar kind of style, I guess that is what Joker's going to look like. So okay, I guess that's fine. Just put some makeup over that head tattoo. Please get rid of that. That's just stupid. But anyway, Harley Quin. I'm not sure if I'm totally okay with her look here. Mostly just because the actress who plays her is super hot. Super, super hot. And she doesn't really look hot in this picture. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you get a chick that's so hot to play a character that is so hot and then dress them up in a way that doesn't make them look that attractive? I don't know, if you're into that kind of look, then I guess you like her. It's a bit of a letdown for me. And of course, next to her we have Deadshot, Will Smith himself. Deadshot, yes, he's an assassin, he's a marksman. He's called Deadshot because he never misses. He literally never misses. He's a seriously good shot. He's also called Deadshot because he kind of has a death wish. He often puts himself in situations where he could get killed, kind of because he just wants to go down in a hail of bullets. And depending on which version of the character Will Smith is kind of going to pull from for his performance, Deadshot is sometimes seen as like an opposite in personality to Batman, because, you know, Batman, he hates guns, and Batman's very silent, he never really talks that much. Whereas Deadshot, on the other hand, he loves guns, and he will not shut up. So, I don't know if Will Smith's gonna use that version, but I could see Will Smith just doing that constant trash talking the whole time, and everyone's like, will you shut up? But a big thing about Deadshot's look is his mask and his eyepiece that he has, which he isn't wearing here, but just earlier today they released this. So we see that he does have that, which I like, it's pretty comic accurate. Next to him is Killer Croc. Killer Croc is a dude who's basically just a big monster man who just beats people up and rips their heads off because he's like really strong, just because he's so massive. And he's called Killer Croc because he has like a skin condition that turns his skin all scaly, and also a condition that turns his teeth like sharp, pointy. I actually knew a guy who had that in real life. He had to have his teeth filed down. But because of that, Killer Croc, he ended up looking like a crocodile, so in the comics they eventually just turned him into a big crocodile. This guy doesn't look a lot like that character. In fact, when I actually saw this picture, I at first thought maybe this dude was Waxman or Waxhead. You know, that villain who has this weird melted blobby head like it's a head made out of wax? I actually thought maybe he was him, but apparently he's Killer Croc. Weird, because he's basically just a big, strong, tough guy, and he doesn't really seem that big. Yeah, I always thought it'd be good if you got like Kane to play Killer Croc. Just give him sharp teeth and scales and just use Kane, like that would have been the perfect Killer Croc. So I'll be curious to see how this is going to play out with him. And finally, we have a guy called El Diablo. El Diablo, a little bit weird because he's kind of, I guess the best way to describe him is he's kind of like The Crow. Remember that movie, The Crow, where it's like a guy who gets killed under certain unjust circumstances, so he's brought back to life. El Diablo was brought back to life through, I think, Native American, like, witchcraft. And then he kind of became like an undead zombie type agent of vengeance that would go around like punishing people for doing bad things and kill all these people. And there's been multiple ones throughout history. Yeah, so that was kind of like El Diablo's thing. He was like an undead agent of vengeance. Some say he was even like possessed by a certain demon. But like I said at the beginning, we don't know. I mean, a lot of these people have like either magical abilities or supernatural elements to them. And we don't know if this universe is going to have that yet. I mean, but they're going to have to some degree, right? I mean, what is Enchantress there for if she doesn't have magic? She has to have magic, otherwise why even put the character there? So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So put your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the Suicide Squad? Who is your favourite member? I think a lot of us are going to like Deadshot most of all, but I'm kind of going for Captain Boomerang. I just want to see how they're going to do Captain Boomerang without it being completely ridiculous. But if you've got a guy on the team whose expertise is tying knots, I guess throwing a boomerang is really not that strange. I am Bandit, this is Bandit Incorporated. Until next time, I will see you guys in the comments.